Welcome. Today's gonna be a crazy video. I have so much sauce to give you, and you're gonna be a better trader because of it after today's daily recap. So as you can see, I made $380, 2.1k total. If we go over the accounts, the time, sorry. Let me just, yeah, you guys see? Yeah, perfect. Let me just go over the time. And this was like in 7 minutes, so 380 in 7 minutes. Okay, so let's go over everything. First, the top-down approach. We have taken these weekly lows and previous daily low right here. As soon as price has taken that, we had moved up into this 1 hour level. And we also basically were rejecting from this level here. This is what I wanted to see, was one of my if-then process, right? Because if we reject from here, then I take a short. That was my idea. Initially, if we rejected from there, I wanted to price at least take this low right here, which didn't happen, but it doesn't have to happen, okay? Okay, and so let's go over the sauce. So basically, we were accumulating all of this time. It was like horrible price action right here. I mean, in terms of direction, it was clean. But in terms of delivery, it was very bad. We had taken there. We just started here accumulating, just weeks, and then we went back lower. We made a 5-minute gap here. That had taken this level here before, and this is what I want to go over. Okay, I'd taken this level before, and then the 30%, 50% here after the displacement in this range. This is my entry right here. Stop loss right there, 0.9, and we just targeted the 1.75, and that was it. That was the trade. But what I want to go over, which is very important, is first about society and how that affects you in trading. So society rewards the wrong things, okay? Society rewards adjectives, not real objectives. Trading is only hard because most people think about the money, okay? And this is something that's wrong with society, because the goal is not a car, the goal is not a house, the goal is not a family. These are adjectives. They're basically complementary, like they're basically an extra. They come because you have a car, because you are good at your job, you make enough cash flow to buy one. Okay? Same with a house, and family is you are a man, fun to be around, stable, but also a valor. So you have your boundaries, you have your focus, you have your things, like you know how to put a boundary, you know how to lead, basically. So everything in life, the things that we consider goals are not goals. These are not goals. They are the complementary, the extra, the adjectives of a good process, okay? I really want to reframe this, because before we had jobs catering to the average person like we have nowadays, this is really a topic where I'm very hyped about talking about it. Before we had all of this, we had blacksmiths, we had swordsmen and nobles and chefs, and the entire family in the medieval ages would just run from these people, right? So you have a blacksmith father, you'd be a blacksmith son. You'd be a swordsman, you'd be a swordsman. You'd be an artist. Your children will be artists too, basically. It would run in the family because the craft was the goal. And that's why everything is so hard. Like trading is not hard. You trade your model when the conditions are there. When they aren't, you either trade another model, okay, or you adapt and low risk or don't trade. It's only hard because we've attribute our progress to money. Money is not the progress, it is not the goal, it is not the outcome, it is simply an objective. It seeks excellence. Same as everything else that we talked about, it's the outcome of excellence. And excellence, it's not created by following an objective. It's insane that people like literally just go after the things that don't matter. And that's why trading is so hard, and that's why business is so hard, and that's why everything, content creation is so hard. It is because you don't get money right away. Because you are valued at your skill level, which is trash at the beginning. You are trash at the beginning. Obviously you are. You pick up a new sport, you're trash at the new sport. You pick up a new game, you're trash at the new game. You start driving lessons, you're trash at driving lessons. You're always trash in the beginning. And it's just that you're looking for the outcome in terms of goals, which are, it's not even the outcome. The outcome is the person you become and the skills you get to reach excellence. That's the outcome. Money, houses, traveling, luxury, woman, whatever you want, or man if you're a woman, that is simply the extra of you being amazing at your craft, of you being an amazing human being. And that's why society is, like majority, is stagnated, because it's literally, it has its principles upside down. It has its principles upside down. Everybody. Collectivism leads people to literally believe in systems that do not even exist. Like, it's why everything doesn't work. It's why people get take graduations, and then don't get jobs. It's why AI can replace the entire workforce, because majority of people are not excellent at other jobs. They're not. And the risk of you losing a job, if you have a job, okay? You have a stable income. Okay? So imagine you have 1K per month. Let's do a 2K per month, okay? And then imagine you have your car, which is 400 a month. You have your house, let's imagine 800 a month, okay? So now you already have less 1.2K. Okay, and now you have groceries, house bills. Let's imagine all of this. It's around another 300. Okay, which probably more, but yeah, let's put 300. Okay, 400 gets better. So now you have minus 1.6K. You have 400 for the month. Okay, imagine you go out with your friends, you buy some stuff for yourself, you leave with 200 for the month. Okay. You don't have a job. You don't have a stable income. You don't have a stable income. Imagine you make, some months you made 1K, and other months you make 3K, other months you make like 500. Other months you make 4K, others 200. You don't know what's going to come, right? So what happens when you have like an unstable income, like trading, entrepreneurship, whatever, you tend to view finances in a different way. You tend to see it as a margin for future liabilities. So imagine you don't have a car, you don't have a house, at least while you're making these amounts, you're just saving. You're investing in the business or on some other stuff, right? So what happens is you don't have car expense, you don't have house expense, or if you do, you only put like for a rent, you do like 800 rent a month at least. So what happens is when you have when you don't have a stable income, you tend to save more because you don't know what's going to come next, and you tend to invest more because you don't know, nothing is safe, right? You know, everything's risky. What happens if this person with this stable income loses income for 3 months? Loses income from 3 months. Well, they still have the savings. They know the structure of their work. They've prepared for it, so they'll be fine. They can eat. They can pay their car or their house. Sorry. What happens is that basically this person will have a more stable trajectory, even though it doesn't look like it. Well, this person, if they lose their job, they have an 100% risk. This is more risky than this. Still, another thing that society doesn't know how to teach very well. You think that a normal job is stable. Well, it is. Sometimes in entrepreneurship, before you start making money, it is better. Yeah, you have money coming in every month. When you don't have making a stable income, or you don't have these processes in terms of saving, in terms to invest more, this is obviously worse. But when you're an experienced entrepreneur already, or trader, or whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to do, you already know how this thing works. You already planned in advance. So overall, a person with this is more stable than a person with this. 100 of times, 10 out of 10 times, this person will deal better long term with issues than this person. 10 out of 10 times, I assure you. It's literally certain. Because this person thinks they're safe for life, and if the world changes and the economic state changes, they're fucked. So, these are two things about the world that basically I think are very wrong, are not very well conceived. In this leads into trading how? Because if you think about trading, has a process of becoming the best trader ever, then the losses and the wins don't affect as they should. Because, it's just an outcome. It's an extra to your goal of being a good trader. You need to change the way you think about the world, because normal thinking does not win. Normal thinking is literally made for the opposite, for the thing that we outlined here earlier. You get a job, you buy a house, you buy a car, and then you're literally tied up because you have no way to get up your cash flow. You have no margin to save because you can only save so much because your ceiling is 2,000, right? Saving is everyone says save. But that's a very important thing, because saving as a ceiling, making more money, does not have a ceiling. If you don't have the skills to make more, you'll always be limited to how much you can save, which is always limited by the expenses you have, which you can't cut off all of them. It's just, that's how it works. The game of money is always the same. Always. Someone making 100K a month, but if they spend, imagine they spend 4K a month on a car, they spend 10K a month on a house, they pay their employees, imagine, not their employees, but their maid or something, imagine they have a lot of maids, they pay 5K total for every maid for every house, and then they imagine they keep spending and they keep spending, and because a lot of these rich people, they spend money everywhere, they don't even think about it, and imagine what they have left, 10K. They're in the same situation as someone who's making the 2K a month and only have 200 left, 200 or 400 left for the month. It's the same situation in terms of percentages. It's the same thing. Of course, 10K buys you more, but at the rate of this person and their lifestyle, this 10K does not buy that much. It's the same thing. This person is the same kind of person. It's the same game. And you think that's some sort of oh my God, chosen one. He has 100K, he has a rich lifestyle. If he does not know how to manage his money and how to invest and how to save for a rainy day and make more money and outscale. Like, it's the same game. It's literally just the same thing. It's the same logic, same system. Everything is the same. What changes is the percentage. And it's very hard for people to understand that. But it's just a system. It's a system. You don't know how to play. I don't know how to play either. I only know how it works. But obviously, if I know how to play, I would already be rich, basically. Well, you can tell I'm really excited to talk about this stuff because I'm literally just gagging. But yeah, you can tell I'm excited to talk about this because it's just the same system. Like, I know it works. I'm not saying I know how to apply it very well, because if I did, I would be extremely rich. I will eventually learn how to do it. Or I'm learning now, and maybe I already know now, and still it's just time between the process. I don't know. It doesn't matter. What matters to me is becoming a better trader and a better content creator, basically, because I like doing videos. It's not to do money. I really enjoy doing videos. And that's how you, like, one of the things that makes you a better trader is just thinking about it as society was made before all of these systems that literally modernized systems that don't work, that just fit the majority of people. You focus about your craft, and the rest doesn't matter. It just comes as an extra for you being good at your craft. Okay? That's it. That's the goal. Being good at your craft. Being a better human being. Being more stable, being more consistent, more disciplined. Knowing when to go all the way, knowing when to stop, knowing when to relax as well. Knowing when to let go, knowing when to listen. Everything, all of that. Like, self-improvement is not changing yourself. It's learning who you are beyond all of these systems that society has created, basically. But yeah, I'm rambling already. It's like a big video already. It's like 16 minutes. Oh my God, okay. And so that's what I wanted to say. If you just think about trading as a process basis, it's much more easier. And what I wanted to say at the end of this is, if there is a continuation day and your model is a continuation, you should be less selective, okay? This was a mistake that I was doing earlier. When you have like a lot of string of losses and a lot of months in drawdown, basically what happens is you start to like try to fix the losses, and you start to create more rules and more rules. Okay, I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose as much, because it's like, you know, it's not a good condition for you. You try to adapt fast, but sometimes adapting too fast might create more rules that will limit you long term. And so I noticed that, for example, this day right here, I did not take advantage of the model being there, and on this day right here, neither. Okay, maybe this day was not. This day we already taken like high probability levels. This day we didn't. So on this day, at least, I could have capitalized a bit more. On Monday here, I could have let the trade run a bit more as well through these lows. I simply was like not confident that the lows were here. I was just afraid that would be a continuation day, and it was being a continuation day on lower time frame. So on this day as well, I didn't let the trade run as much as I should have. So an important thing is, if the context is within your favor, it doesn't matter how much losses you had, it doesn't matter how much winners you had, you are less selective. If the context is in your favor. If the context is against you, if it's not a context good for your model, or you don't have any model or playbook to trade that context, what you should do is basically just be more selective. So you should know when to be more selective, when to be more selective, and when to be less selective. Trading is not just following the model. A good decision, I've always said this and I'll keep saying it, is knowing when to be more selective and when to be less selective. It's knowing when to take the model. That's the good decision. It's not just taking the model, because context comes first, then comes the model. Context, then you have model, okay, or playbook, whatever you want to call it, okay, and then you have probabilities, okay. Also, you have execution, and then probabilities, okay. So basically, this is how it goes, and this is how it should be, and that's how everything should be in trading. This is exactly how you have to think, okay. This is not more important than this, never, okay. And sometimes your model limits how you can take advantage of the context. My model sometimes limits me. I know it's a continuation day and I cannot take a trade, for example. And that's something that if it happens too much, you have to maybe refine it or create another playbook so you can catch those days that are more extensive. Do not try to take a trade a model for every single price action, okay? Maybe if you like just did a model, you learn where you can take it and where you can't, where you can take it or where you can't. But if you have more models, it's easier to just take a trade here and then take trades here. You just choose the model, so it's easier to do that instead of just trying to be like an idiot and just trying to like climb a mountain with a Ferrari. And here, when you have like clear roads, basically you don't have like a Ferrari already because you're like blew all your Ferraris here, so you only have like an SUV to fucking race. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I'm rambling a lot already. I'm gonna cut the video here. I think this is my most genuine, most like out there information that I've said before in this channel. If you like it, amazing. If I help you, amazing. If I don't, well, it is what it is. It's just my opinion, but it's like I'm very strong opinionated on this. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.